Welcome. Today I will be paraphrasing, summarizing, and sharing for the December 25th Al-Anon readings in Courage to Change and a little time for myself. And today is Christmas Day. So, merry, happy, peaceful Christmas to everyone. We'll begin with the Serenity Prayer and 3 mindful breaths. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, courage to change the things I can, and wisdom to know the difference. Begin with a little time for myself. Just take a moment to look this over. The question of the day is, whom can I ask for help today, and whom can I help as a result? The passage talks about growing up being taught that it was better to give than receive. And when this person came to Al-Anon, they were grateful for other people sharing their stories of recovery, but they had difficulty asking for help. Now that they're in program, they see the value of both giving and receiving help. And that the key to recovery is a balance, humbly asking for help and giving when we can. Today's reminder, in Al-Anon we give and receive. It says, the more I give, the more I receive. The quote is from One Day at a Time in Al-Anon. It talks about giving light to others so that we can better see ourselves. Okay, so whom can I ask for help today, and whom can I help as a result? Okay, so I had actually a very emotional morning, and I asked my partner for help, and my partner did help me by listening to me and talking with me. And who did I help as a result of that? I definitely helped myself, and I may have even helped my relationship with my partner because I talked about it openly, about what was bothering me, and then I got over it. What was bothering me, So I did a video over a month ago about how I was, I don't know if this is connected or not, but I did a video about a month ago. It wasn't an Al-Anon reading video. It was a video just updating how I was feeling. And I mentioned in that video that I was weaning off my antidepressant with my doctor. And I did that. And I had my follow-up appointment earlier this week, and I'm feeling good. But I do notice that I'm a little more emotional. Good for the most part. I if I see something beautiful, like I'll get teary. Like not because I'm sad, excuse me, but because like I just feel emotions more intensely now that I'm not taking that medication anymore. But what happened was I got overly sensitive about something. And I realized that I was overly sensitive about it, but I just kind of spiraled into this self-deprecating, terrible place in my head. Like nothing was happening outside of my head. And I laugh because it's so silly, but it's so real. And it all comes down to self-esteem and how fragile my self-esteem can be. And I'm only mentioning this because I feel like I'm probably not the only one like this. I think that most people are sensitive and that, nobody wants to feel less than. And just to clarify, nobody made me feel less than but me. That's a really interesting part, is that it was all in my head. And I do think it has to do with ego, being conceited, thinking that, I'm not explaining it very articulately. It's still kind of fresh and new because I'm feeling better now. But like 2 hours ago, I couldn't have made this video because I was like emotional, like crying, which is not like me. And it was sad crying. It was frustrated crying. But the reason was so silly. And when I talked it through with somebody else that I trusted, I realized that I was like doing it to myself, which was yesterday's read. Well, not yesterday's reading. It was December 19th reading about being our own worst enemy and like giving ourselves kindness. I'm actually recording this on December 20th, which is why I'm saying it was yesterday's, because it was actually the topic of the Al-Anon meeting that I go to, and it was perfect. And I'm actually going to go to another meeting today because I feel like that would be good for me. So it's so important that I ask for help and that I don't bottle things up inside, because for whatever reason, it it is amplified in my head, and it becomes something much bigger than it really is. And when I'm able to talk it out, reason things out, I feel like I definitely help myself and I help whoever I'm with, which is usually my partner. I'm trying to think of whoever else would see me like that, and like probably nobody, depending on the circumstances. So that's what I have to say about that today. So, whom can you ask for help today, and whom can you help as a result? And this is a great time for me to mention, because this is December 25th, it's Christmas Day. Whether you celebrate or not, this may be a particularly challenging day. And if you look online, you will undoubtedly be able to find in-person and online Al-Anonathons today to help support you if you feel like you need any kind of extra support. So we are never alone in Al-Anon. That is such a comfort. All right, moving on. Just take a minute to look this over. Wow. Okay. This is about thinking before we react to uncomfortable situations, of valuing silence. However, silence can also be a form of punishment. This is what this is saying, that sometimes silence is exactly what is needed, but sometimes silence can be used as a punishment. And when we try to hurt someone with our silence, we always end up, excuse me, we always end up hurting ourselves. If we have something to say and we're having trouble saying it, going to an Al-Anon meeting, talking to our sponsor can be helpful. Our aim is always to heal ourselves and our relationships. And this is a very important priority for our recovery and our well-being. Today's reminder is asking us what our silence is communicating. And One Day at a Time in Al-Anon, the quote is from One Day at a Time in Al-Anon. It says, "There can be silence with a trace of hostility in it, but true quiet is serene and peaceful and accepting." So there's a difference. That's how my day started today. I was angry at myself, so I was being quiet. And that's just as bad as being angry with somebody else. It's probably worse. For me, it's worse. I get much more upset with myself than I get at other people. See? I'm working on it. Progress, not perfection. And I'm going to my Al-Anon meeting today. It's in an hour and 15 minutes. It's going to be great. With that, we'll close out with the Serenity Prayer and 3 mindful breaths. Here we go. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, courage to change the things I can, and wisdom to know the difference. Today, I'm doing an extra step. I'm giving myself a big hug. I'm giving myself a big hug. I'm sending you big hugs. Thank you so much for joining me today. I look forward to seeing you again tomorrow. Sending you so much love. Take care.